Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things anime uncensored. We are your host. I'm David. We got Kenny. We got Jerry. We got a jam-packed episode for you all today. Long-awaited review of the winter 2021 season. It has finally come to a close. So before we do our next episode where we talk about the upcoming spring anime that we're talking about the first episodes on, we're going to be giving our review of all the shows that we've watched over winter 2021. So before we do, we'll have a little bit of news, or I guess just one bit of news. So Jerry, take it away, or Kenny's going to be our newscaster.
Oh,
today,
I get to do. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's Kenny's turn. It's Kenny's turn.
Kenny's got a very specific piece of news.
There's one piece of news that has shocked the anime world. We had to wait. Central Time Zone. I had to wait until 5:30 in the morning to find out about this. Okay, I was up all night. They were 35 minutes over, but you know what? It happened. Stone Ocean has been announced. JoJo's Part 6. Jolene is here. I can't believe it. There was no date announcement. There was hardly anything. All they did was say that it's going to exist, and they brought out the voice actress, which is so exciting. And, everybody is fully and absolutely tied it over, okay? It was 636 days or some bullshit like that. I mean, we all knew it was coming, let's be honest. At this point, after Part 3, people were concerned, but at the end of Part 5, we all saw how that one ended, okay? It was the same way it ended Part 2. So, we're ready. We're ready for Jolene. We're ready for Stone Free. We're ready to see what's up, okay?
I'm so ready. I'm kind of sad. Wrong. I'm kind of sad because the Shitpost Crusaders was like, the second it was announced, everyone was like just one part away from Part 7. Like, everyone just cares about Part 7.
I know, yeah. It was actually hilarious because I was up and everybody had started, because the event went 35 minutes over time, and over in Japan it was like 7:30 or whatever, but it was 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And so people had started already spamming Shitpost Crusaders with everybody stays up all night, doesn't even get an announcement, nothing happens. It was just the voice actors rereading favorite lines. There was so much shit, and as soon as it happened, everybody was like, "You're fucking dumb. It got announced." There were so many comments flooding in about it was hilarious. It was instant. It was everybody was instantaneously aged like milk. You're all dumb.
Oh my lord! I just can't. Yeah. I can't it's hard to be hype for me anymore with this because I don't know how to put it, but obviously they're gonna do the next part. I don't know. Maybe I'm optimistic or something, but it's already JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of the most long-lasting franchises. Obviously, with the success of the new anime, it's just been continually adapted. They had to take a break between. I still can't believe, if you remember, Kenny, how they David, you got to watch it all together. But Part 3, they actually broke up into 2 parts. They took a break in the middle of Part 3 and made people wait even longer. And so they've taken their time with this, and it's just crazy to think that the latest part in the manga, which is Part 8,
JoJo
the latest part in the manga, it started before the new anime has started, and it feels like the new anime has been out forever because it's been out for almost 10 years. Jojo Lion, Jojolion, however you say it, has also been out for over 10 years at this point. It's still not over, so that's crazy. So, but it also means we're slowly, I'm happy that David Production has taken their time and created, really masterpiece versions of each of these parts, because it just means that we never have to, no one's going to hopefully adapt it ever again. But it also means that once they're done with Part 7, they can just sit on their hands until Part 8 is done, and then they can adapt Part 8,
I mean, at the rate they're going, it's about 2 years in between each part. So I expect Part 8 to be done. Maybe Part 9 is started by the time.
Think so?
Yeah, because what? I mean, if they do this one in 1 or 2 seasons, so let's say this one's done in a year and a half, or 2 years at longest, and then they wait another 2 years before doing Steel Ball Run, and then they take another 2. That's 6 years down the road. 6, almost, maybe 7 years down the road. I would hope that JoJolion does not take 7 more years, especially since I think that
could it? Like,
I don't know. I've been intentionally not spoiling myself on the JoJo's manga.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't read the manga either, but isn't this already the longest part?
It's the longest, kind of. It's not the most chapters because it's a monthly instead of
monthly.
and because it's a monthly, it's like, I think it is the most pages now, but it's not by a lot. And so because it comes out monthly, it's like, it can take longer because you only get 12 chapters a year. Mm-hmm. So, but still in 7 more years, how many chapters is that? I mean, what's 7 times 12?
That's a lot.
64, 70,
yeah.
78? No.
Yeah.
74 chapters? No. Yeah. 74 chapters? No. 94 chapters.
How many chapters of Part 8 are there right now?
80 something?
Yeah, I'm about to say it's got to be nearing 100. That was what I was thinking.
You could hit.
It's already been out for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's got to be going. Beside the point.
105.
105.
Yeah, there you go. I thought it was over 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everyone's excited. Jolene Cujo coming to the small screen, getting her anime adaptation. Going to be really awesome, and I'm sure that means, so yeah, if we get part 6 this year, it'll probably leak into next year as well. It probably won't finish all in this year. And then
if it comes out this year, that'd be wild.
I think it will. I think it'll air in the fall.
Well, yeah,
fall or winter.
The Golden Wind announcement happened in June or July. Yeah. And then the anime aired in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Araki, that weird thing that Araki came on and was like, he made it seem like it was already done. And then he made it sound like there was going to be a movie or really.
Those subtitles were so jank.
I know they were so.
Yeah.
I think what really he was
officially
saying,
go back and translate it, but I don't know if there has been.
I think he was like, maybe they're going to air the show in theaters, which would be super cool. I think they did that with Part 5. I'll have to check, but I thought they did a limited release in Japan of the first like episode or two or something as like a theatrical or like there was a 1-day experience, something like that. That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure they did that as part of, maybe it was even part of like Jump Festa or something like that. It was something where people were able to go and see it ahead of time, because I remember people saw the beginning of Part 5 before it came out, but I don't remember the context of it. But someone can go research. I'm sure all you fact checkers in the comments can go check me. Go hit your Google searches, find out how wrong I am.
Are you salty?
No, I'm not. But
come on,
legit,
I got bad opinions.
I'm here for it. Someone please go fact check me.
But yeah, I think
I actually do want to know.
We're in such a weird time now with movie theaters. I think that it'd be really cool if shows and things started just airing in theater. Because I mean, think about that. If you could ensure people are going to be in your seats every week to watch a show, that'd be crazy.
Weird. That'd be weird.
Well, like, we have to pay for each episode, though.
Or
yeah,
maybe you
imagine
buy a
that.
subscription. Or what if you buy some sort of for a series? Yeah.
Like, would you watch Falcon Winter Soldier every week if it was like behind like a $5 paywall for each episode?
No, I feel like if you paid $30 to see the whole series, you buy a season.
Yeah, I think people would do that in a heartbeat, dude.
For JoJo's, I mean, I would do that.
And you got to think like, the theater doesn't care about actually like selling movie tickets, right? They care about getting you in seats to then buy other things.
And everything else, yeah.
Right. The food and drink is where
I bet people would consider it. Although I will admit, I do think that a lot of people in the last year have become even more comfortable watching big budget stuff on their TVs.
Oh, for sure.
A lot more people like their home theater experience now. So I don't know. It would be more of like a niche thing. It would be like a fun thing to do every once in a while instead of like a, it's going to become I think that's going to be theaters in general in the next couple of years. We're going to see them become more of like a, it's like going bowling or something. I don't know. Like, people
like a dated pastime kind of thing.
Right. It's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly how I'm imagining it. Like a pastime that's kind of, it's like still like there's a nostalgia to it or something, like almost. It's like, oh, let's go to the theater. I don't know. I could see that a lot less screens all over the country. I think more and more screens or locations will be shut down over the next couple of years. I mean, obviously COVID accelerated that, but we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I know that my home watching experience is pretty sweet now, but I had to upgrade some of my equipment during COVID so that I could watch stuff better at home, because I loved watching movies at the theaters. But
but Sonic the Hedgehog at home though was pretty nice experience though. Just like sitting in a recliner. I mean, I watched. Kenny and I just watched. We just watched Godzilla vs Kong last night, David. And oh yeah.
Honestly, that's
did y'all like it?
Monkey versus Lizard.
Monkey
bro.
versus Lizard.
I can't,
Sweet. We loved it.
got nothing
Watched
bad to
it on-
say about
Yeah.
Godzilla, man.
Watched it on HBO Max, and it was pretty sweet.
Damn.
Getting a little off topic from anime, although there is a Godzilla anime coming out, by the way,
Is there really?
on Netflix. Yeah, I think it's called like Singular
Oh,
Point.
yeah.
Singular Point. Yeah.
Yeah, so our
Real.
next bit of news, there was one show we all watched this winter that was really important to us. It's called Vampire Night. We watched Vampire Night. Welcome to the Vampire Night podcast.
We're not even 10 minutes in. We're not even 10 minutes in.
This is the Vampire Night podcast where all we do is talk about Vampire Night and Vampire Night accessories.
This guy.
Vampire Night it's an anime, it's one that we watch 24/7, 365 days a year. So
For those of you that don't watch the end of our podcast, we promise every week that if we were to ever hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, we will live stream the three of our stupid butts watching the entirety of Vampire Night beginning to end. We will live stream the entire experience, episode 1 to I think it's like 26 episodes. We'll live stream the whole thing. So if we ever hit 1,000 subscribers, you hear it here first. Yep. Our stupid asses are going to be
every episode. I've mentioned Vampire Night. We're 24 episodes in, 25 episodes in.
Yeah, something like that.
I intend to continue to mention Vampire Night forever. Okay,
and David here is pretty much the biggest Vampire Night fan I know.
He's the biggest one I know.
And look, some extra shilling. Since we're shilling so hard right now, let's just throw some more in there. Please don't forget, if you're listening to us, watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to leave a comment if we fuck things up, like on our previous episodes where we fuck things up and people leave comments. Please let us know.
More comments, the better, bro.
Mm-hmm. My cat says hi. And also, if you're listening to us, you can also listen to us on Spotify. We have friends who listen to us while they're at work. Please make sure to subscribe to us on there so you can get notifications when we upload.
And I want to thank you because if you are listening to this right now on one of those audio platforms, it seems like we're getting close to 100 plays per episode on our audio platforms. So people are listening there. So thank you for tuning in over there. And if you're on one of those platforms, make sure to leave us. I think there's like a follow button on Spotify. You can leave us a 5-star review if you're over on Apple Podcasts, or if you're on any other feature. Make sure if you can leave a review, leave a follow, or get connected with us so you make sure you see when we post new episodes. We try to post an episode a week. We usually try to shoot for Fridays, but that's not always the case. But obviously, if this is your first time tuning in, we're excited to have you, and definitely keep tuning in and listening on all those platforms or on YouTube. Obviously, YouTube, you can always thumb up, comment, subscribe, like David said. But that's always YouTube helps because you can see our faces and you know that we're.
You can see when Kenny disconnects at least once or twice.
I'm about to say, I was like, the audio only listeners will never know.
They'll never know I disconnect. It's one of those things,
All right, so shilling is completed. We are now ready to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Let's talk briefly. Before we jump too far,
no meat or potatoes yet.
The only other news, and David, I do want to at least, you brought it up before we started recording, but Phantom Seer, we talked about it just the other day.
Rest in
just
peace.
a couple episodes ago.
Rest in peace to Phantom Seer, man.
Our comments did not age well. We pretty much said in our State of Shonen Jump episode that we thought Phantom Seer could be like the sleeper. We thought it was going to last a little bit longer, but
we were very clear in that episode that it was like a lot of half of the things we talked about had 20 chapters,
right?
And so it was like anything could get canceled at that point,
right?
But Phantom Seer was one of the ones that had started to reach what I consider like medium length, right? When you start getting into the 30s, 40s, you're really starting to get into that territory where things feel a little safer. So we really, I know that I specifically said on that episode, I thought Phantom Seer could be, because it's kind of got that supernatural high school element that is really popular right now. I thought it could be something that was about to come up. And literally like right after we posted that episode, Phantom Seer got announced it was getting canceled. It had like one more chapter and then dipped out of the manga. So it ended at only 39 chapters. So that sucks. But Jump has quickly and swiftly replaced it. Only a week later.
Yep.
They've replaced it with not one, but 2 new series that have debuted in Jump. One of those is already available on Viz's Shonen Jump app. So if you want to read the first chapter of that legally, you can. The second series has not appeared on that app yet. So I don't know if they're not going to license it or, they don't license everything in Shonen Jump, but they usually get most of it. So maybe
I think at this point they have been licensing everything.
At least dang near everything. So I don't know what's going on with that one. So that's weird. Maybe it'll pop up in the next couple of days. Maybe they're translating it a little slower. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the new one, I think it's called Blue Box. Blue Box. Blue Box, something about badminton and basketball player falling in love. So it's a sports romance. I guess.
It's more of a romance. Let's be honest. I read the first chapter, 60 pages, and there's a one shot that already exists.
Right, and I think in the one shot he played volleyball, not badminton, right?
Really, I don't know.
I think I saw that when I was looking up. So I'm gonna get fucking corrected. No, but I'm pretty sure the one shot.
Correct Jerry in the comments. Okay.
God damn it!
Get in the comments.
Sure in the one shot, it was volleyball instead of badminton, but yeah, I think so. And my assumption is it was probably shifted because of my guess is because they just don't want to be too closely linked to Haikyuu. If I were to guess, I don't see any reason for them to do volleyball. Badminton's fine, I guess. Just a weird sport. I don't think people play that. The other one is called David. Do you know the name of? I don't want to.
It's like a long name.
I thought it's like Aoi no Haru or something like that.
I'll look it up in a second.
It's something like that.
He does play volleyball in the one shot.
Aha! I was right. I texted it earlier, but the other series is titled Ame no Furu, which I'm not sure what that translates to in English, but it did not debut on Viz's streaming site, so I have no idea what it's about. I think, it's like tough to find any information about it yet on the internet, at least in English. So not sure what Ame no Furu is about, but that's the other one. If I had to guess, sports or romance, just because or maybe like drama, because I think that's kind of an area of Shonen Jump that's kind of missing right now. Since they've kind of got enough battle shonen and definitely enough comedy running in Jump right now. So
they have a ton of comedy.
They have almost too much comedy is what we talked about on our other. If you haven't checked that episode out, definitely check it out. Current State of Shonen Jump. That was our episode 2 or 3 weeks before this one. We went through all the stuff in Shonen Jump, which is, again, it's not aged well because the series already got canceled and they already added 2 more. But beside the point, this is sort of our update to that. I'm excited for both series. They both look actually pretty good. Or the one we know about looks good. The other one at least has an interesting title. I don't know. Ame no Furu, who knows what it'll be about. But definitely we'll check it out when it comes out.
Is Blue Box by a veteran mangaka?
I
don't think so. But I don't
know. He's done 2 or 3 series now.
He has, the Blue Box person has. Actual serializations or just one-shots?
Kuji Mira.
Actual serializations. One that's really popular, I think.
Really? Okay, so then our Blue Box author is coming off of a moderate serialization, most likely. Cool. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Shonen Jump still pushing the train, man. They just keep going along, doing their thing. I'm excited for them. I don't think there's any other steep anime news. Obviously, tickets for the Demon Slayer movie have released into America. That's happening about 2 weeks after this episode airs. So if you want tickets to go see it in theaters, on you. Obviously, I know a lot of theaters are taking safe social distancing measures. So just, practice what they're doing and hopefully you'll be fine. Or if you're like us 3 boys, we're all going to be vaccinated, double dosed by the time that the movie comes out. So we're hopefully going to go see it in theaters and maybe talk about it a little bit on the podcast. So that'd be nice. Kenny might not be able to go, but David and I are both going to try to get tickets to go. So we shall see.
Have you talked about Yasuke?
Oh, Ame no Furu
at all?
Ame no Furu doesn't come out until next week.
That's why. Okay, that makes sense why it's
not just announced serialization.
Oh, okay. So Ame no Furu is not actually released yet, so we'll see it next week and then maybe chat about it a little bit further. But we haven't talked about Yasuke, but there's a lot of new anime coming out, and obviously we're gonna get real in depth because spring anime is our next episode after this one.
You're right.
But yeah, Yasuke coming to Netflix. Really cool series done by the same guy, I believe, who did Cannon Busters. So that's super cool to see another series out of that. I know he works and lives in Japan, I believe, but I want to say he's American or something along those lines. Yeah, I think he's I want to say he's born in America, but lives and works in Japan.
Yep.
And I think his studio has been involved in a lot of actually pretty big projects. So it's pretty sweet. But beside the point, let's do it, boys. Let's wrap up winter a little bit.
Yep.
I think that's what we're here for, right? I mean, we're wrapping up winter
we're
today.
Here for the end it's the end of winter. It's fucking summer.
It's springtime.
Already.
Laying it out right now, right? A lot of people, a lot of anti-tubers, a lot of goofs out there are calling winter like the best season ever. Like one of the best anime seasons I've ever seen or whatever. It was good. It was a great season. We had fun, right?
Yeah.
It can't be the best.
We have to remember. Yeah, X-Arm came out this season. I know we all want to forget it. But that was fucking bull. That was fucking hot garbage.
X-Arm is
Nobody
already
should
getting
watch that
lauded
show.
as like the worst anime of all time. So I mean, it's
It might be. I don't know.
we're living in a hellscape where the best anime season had one of the worst anime of all time. That's where we're at right now.
Right.
But
a lot of great anime though, for sure.
only a couple shows that all three of us watched. That's the issue here. So only a couple shows. So let's try to knock out some of these ones that only a few of us watched. Maybe get some details out.
So, first and foremost, the best anime of the season was Quintessential Quintuplets. It's about 5 quintuplets.
Son of a bitch
that are all trying to date the same guy.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a romance. He's like, they're tutor. I'm a Nino stan, so I'm all for Nino. Welcome to the Nino train. Please, the fucking ending was ass. I'm so upset. I hope that my ship set sail. Please, for dear Lord, what the fuck? Why would they even do that? Why?
They're out here breaking ships.
Quintuplet spoilers. No.
Yeah. David, what about you? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Watched it.
Yep,
So
yep,
I
so-
didn't watch it yet, but I bet I'm gonna love it. Is the worst part.
You should. You will. I think you'll like it.
I think I'm gonna actually really like it, but
Yeah.
I'll watch it eventually.
So the first season was pretty good. The second season, I like the second season more personally. There were moments where I was like raising my eyebrow because there seemed to be a lot of scenes where they're taking baths and they're like in a bathhouse and just scantily clad characters. So
they
it's
were on
like
vacation.
they're on vacation. So I mean,
They're on
maybe that's
vacation.
what that's what
It's
you do
anime.
on
It's
vacation.
anime.
It's anime. So
It's anime.
but there was a lot of conflict this season, a lot of spiciness.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So it made watching
I was ready
it
for
even,
that too. Yeah.
Like there are times where I'm watching, I'm just like eyes just big. I'm like, oh no, that happened. Oh no, and then and I also liked how this season gave more time, more light to some of the 5 girl characters that didn't get enough time in the first season. So I liked it. They basically confirmed season 3.
Best anime of winter.
So, no.
Yeah, it was the best anime winner.
Yeah, it is.
It's in my top 5.
Up against
It
Attack on Titan. Kenny's like,
Fuck
yeah.
Attack on Titan,
Kenny's
okay?
like, quintessential
Fuck Attack on
quintuplet.
Titan.
Honestly,
Max.
yeah, Attack on Titan it'll need its own little segment in this.
We'll talk a little bit about it because only David and I watched it. Kenny doesn't watch it.
Fuck
Jared,
Attack.
have you read the manga? Did you read it all?
I haven't read ahead yet, so we're only going to talk
Okay.
about the anime on this
Okay.
episode a little bit. But- so Quintuplets, great season. So if you don't watch Quintessential Quintuplets, I sure as hell haven't. You should check it out. Kenny has loved it. I've heard a lot of great praise for it.
the
The
best
manga
anime
looks
I've
a lot of fun, and the manga
yeah.
also, Kenny, it concluded, right? Someone
I
correct me.
guess I better read it. I don't know.
I've heard that the manga's over. I think.
I think it
So,
recently concluded.
Hopefully that means the anime will be able to adapt the whole thing. I mean, everyone's always happy when a seasonal show actually gets to adapt to its end.
Yeah.
So congrats to Quintuplets for its completed manga run, and hopefully the anime gets. You said season 3 is pretty much already confirmed, so hopefully it gets to go.
It's basically confirmed.
okay, cool.
If you're looking for a romance anime, I would definitely recommend watching Quintessential Quintuplets.
If you
really
love it
good.
when one guy's in love with 5 girls that all happen to be sisters, this is the show for you.
There's tons of shows where
Is it even?
all the girls love-
Is it a little etchy, or is it more of like just really dramatic? I don't know.
Yes,
Slight
there's somewhat-
etchy.
I would say not
Still
much
etchy.
though. There's not as much as you expect from a standard
Still
like
etchy.
shonen
Right.
romance. You know?
Right. So it's actually a little bit more about the drama. I mean, kind of like
Right.
So I recently watched Rent a Girlfriend, which actually came out last summer. I watched all of it recently. Maybe we'll even do a review on here eventually. But
Yeah.
Rent a Girlfriend was I went into it expecting a little bit more etchy, and it was much more dramatic. Like very much not about the etchy part of it. It was actually more about the drama. You know. So I've heard. I guess I just hear those two series compared a lot. Quintuplets and Rent a Girlfriend, or people that are fans of one are usually fans of the other. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
also, because I had to look this up a few days ago, but if you're listening, you hear the word etchy, and you don't know what that word means. It's
Oh, damn.
basically, like pervy, like sexualized things
Yeah.
in shows. So there's not a lot
Yeah.
of sexualness in Quintessential. I won't say what I was about to say, but the focus is definitely more on like the relationships between the characters, between the main guy and the 5 sisters that he tutors and
Right.
interacts with.
Yeah.
So you just see those relationships, improve as the show goes on.
Yeah, like Prison School is
No, that's a
incredibly-
hentai.
That's not a
hentai. Prison School's a hentai.
Prison School is etchy because it's not all the way people having sex. but it's hyper-sexualized.
Doesn't
Okay,
someone get
Prison
pissed
School-
on in that show?
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, someone does
Prison
get
School
pissed
is a
off.
softcore hentai. Prison School is a softcore hentai.
Okay, maybe Prison School's too far for the ecchi meter, but
Yeah,
something
bro.
like
Ecchi is like
Ichigo 100% was an
Yeah.
old romance shonen. It was old romance shonen. It had a lot of, booties and panty shots and boob shots and stuff like that that you would get. Pretty standard every chapter or every episode you'd get something like that. But it was still a romance. There was still drama, romance, blah, 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 blah. But it had a lot of ecchi in it. There's lots of shows out there, lots of anime. Pretty much every season there's at least a couple. I sometimes call them booby animes. We watched one on here. We watched the one where where the camera's always up the girl's crotch while she climbs up the mountains.
yeah.
Iwa Kake Sports
Climbing Girls. That was actually not that bad of a show. Okay, it was
not
pretty
bad,
good.
but it was pretty.
But
ecchi.
it was
You had
ecchi.
lots of
Nothing's
you had
like
lots of
the booty
upskirt
bumpers
stuff
show.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Keijo.
Oh,
that's classic ecchi.
You want a real nasty man show? Go watch Keijo. They whack each other with asses.
That's the whole show. That's the show.
That's actually the premise. If you don't know it, go look it up.
I guess High Rise Invasion is kind of ecchi too, because there's a lot of
Bro,
random panty shot.
High Rise
weird,
had a
bro.
guaranteed panty shot every episode.
Every episode.
It was a guarantee.
Which is so weird because like in the manga, it's just like not that prevalent. Like
High Rise Invasion should have its slogan: guaranteed panty shot every episode.
Guaranteed panty shot every episode.
Guaranteed panty shot. Okay, boys. What was another one we watched?
What else did we watch?
Wait. But before we move on, since this is like a mega review episode, do we want to like just throw out instant out of 10s? What we thought?
Oh yeah, I don't have
10 out of 10.
I don't have a number for
All right.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
All right. So for those of us that don't watch each show, we'll abstain. But for people who have watched it,
10 out of 10.
Kenny, David, out of 10. Kenny,
I gave it an 8.
10 out of 10. Best show this season.
Honestly,
Quintuplets.
that's high. You guys just gave it like hella high praise. So now
It's
I'm like,
really good. It's really good.
I love Quintessential Quintuplets.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to be doing this, but there's 2 shows for sure that David, Kenny, and I all watched. That's Horimiya and Mushoku Tensei. We'll save those for the very end of this episode. So if you're really interested in those, feel free to skip ahead. We're going to go in a little more depth on those 3 shows because the 3 of us all watched them, and we'll all be able to give a good review. The rest of these shows, only 1 or 2 of us watched, but we want to make sure we get our opinions out a little bit on those, and we'll give a quick little, like David said, we'll give a little quick number like that. But it's going to be pretty round robin. So Kenny, David, what else did we watch this season?
Kenny, I'll let you go.
Throw
I watched the Boonies, the kid born in the last dungeon.
You watched the whole season?
I watched the whole season.
David, you watched it?
I didn't watch it, so
I
this
don't
is all
know.
you, Kenny.
I just enjoyed it. It's got that One Punch Man mentality where like the kid's just like really fucking powerful for no reason, and it's kind of fun. I really enjoyed the I don't know, like the bullshit. It's just it's intentionally tropey, and it's obviously a comedy, and so it was just really fun. Yeah, that's how
solid fantasy comedy. What would you give it, Kenny, out of 10?
6, 7.
Okay,
that's pretty high.
It was pretty good.
Do you feel like the animation? One thing I remember about the first episode, animation was pretty good, and I remember thinking like, if it could maintain the quality at least, so that's good. That's cool.
Animation was great. I mean, the show looked great.
Was fucking boring, but
it's fucking funny. It's funny.
Okay, Kenny laughed.
Was that
Kenny
like the main thing about it, Kenny? Is like the comedic aspect of it? Like, was there an actual like plot and?
No, there
I
was
feel like that's
obviously
the
a
value
comedy.
of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, he like whacks bugs, and he's like, "Oh, these stupid bugs," and everyone's like, "Those are monsters."
Didn't he like pick it up and like in the first episode? He just like chunking it out.
He does that shit all the time. Yeah.
He's just like, fuck this
There's
thing.
actually a scene where he throws himself. So in the hometown they shoot themselves out of cannons to get around because they're like,
okay,
it's fast. It's fucking stupid. Show's fucking dumb, but it's fun.
That's fine. That's fine.
Like,
some people
Sea of
love
Thieves.
that. I mean, it's good stuff. Yeah. Oh, Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah,
like
like
Sea of Thieves,
the
right.
Microsoft game, right?
Like
Sea of Thieves.
Right, just like Sea of Thieves. Actually, this is just like Sea of Thieves.
No way.
This anime and Sea of Thieves is 100%. Like, if you turn it in for an essay, it would come back.
Because it's Sea of Thieves. It's Sea of Thieves. You could get into a cannon and you can shoot yourself out of it. So it made
It's
me
like
think.
the difference between a zebra and a dead zebra, bro.
It's the same thing. Same
This
thing.
man said, "See, whatever." Okay, that works for me, David.
It's just like CD.
Just like
Okay,
CT.
Kenny's given 2 now, David. What'd you watch this
All
season?
right. I
us one.
watched I'm a Spider, So What?
Son of a
man.
bitch.
And
I can't watch that one.
And
I have no
this-
opinions because I didn't watch any of this shit.
and I'm excited because this show isn't 12 episodes, it's 24 episodes. There's 2 courses.
Okay.
It's still going.
It's still going. It's still going. They took a week break and they resumed episode 13, I think, this past week. And so I'm a Spider, So What? So it's about this girl who is reincarnated as a spider in this video game-esque universe. There's levels, there's skills, abilities, and at the same time, there's other people from the girl's other life that were reincarnated. But it's weird because they understand that they're reincarnated, but they also address each other as their new names as well as their old life names. That part's confusing. I didn't really like the human part personally. What I really enjoyed was the spider.
Not in the
part.
manga. So.
Apparently, it's not in the manga. I didn't read
It's
the
not in the
manga.
manga.
I just
love
watched
the
it.
spider. You like the spider running around,
Yeah,
gaining levels, learning new powers, doing all that shit.
yeah. Like I've said before on the podcast, my thing with video game isekais, my favorite thing about them is the robust, like structured leveling system, abilities, all that stuff that they introduce. And I think they did a really good job in I'm Spider, So What? And so, like the last episode, she killed a godly earth dragon all by herself. And so
That's
just
kinda cool.
it's pretty cool. So just to see, she killed like frogs and like geckos and like salamanders, and as you went through the season, she's killing stronger and stronger things as she's leveling up. So it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's all like all the spiders, like all the monsters are CGI. So it's not bad. I think it's pretty simple, but it wasn't really something that I was complaining about whenever I would see it on the screen. So yeah.
Did she ever change appearance, or did she just always look like a little tiny spider?
So there are flash forwards because ultimately, I guess the spider transforms into a human. So actually, right now, the most
What
recent
the
episode,
fuck?
the most recent episode.
I'm in a haze after that statement.
It becomes like an arachnid or whatever. You know how like Quelaag from Dark Souls.
She starts looking like wasn't there like a spider lady in Dota that we played, Kenny? Yeah.
So like the most recent episode, she's like out of this cave that she spends the first half of season 1 in, and she's like, "Oh, humans are gonna kill me if they see me as a spider. I need to evolve into a human." So right now, her goal is to level up, gain experience, so she can then, because whenever she reaches a certain level threshold, she can change classes basically. So she's trying to be ultimately a human, and there's flash forwards throughout the first 12 13 episodes of her being like the penultimate final boss type of demon lord.
Penultimate is one before.
Or
penultimate
ultimate.
one before
ultimate.
that. Ultimate.
Yeah, the ultimate, not penultimate. Thank you.
I mean, she may be penultimate though.
She might have one more level.
I mean,
Maybe.
maybe. I mean, possibly.
Maybe
I don't
she's
know.
in the penultimate form. What if you were right?
Maybe
If
I was
David's
right without
right-
even knowing I was right.
No,
It's
you're
crazy.
right.
It's crazy.
You're correct.
Okay.
bro.
I'm pretty correct.
Honestly, David, if Kenny hadn't corrected you, someone in the YouTube comments would have, dude.
Yeah, as long as someone's corrected my wrongs, I appreciate it. So I mean,
Someone would have got
hit me
your
with it.
ass, dude.
I
Okay,
love you just the way you are.
my only thing then, David. Okay, so I know you can't really give it a
Straight out
rating
of
because
10,
there's
yeah.
technically
that's
season.
what
Well,
it
season
sounds
one's not
Yeah,
over.
it's
I
not
mean,
done. No.
Yeah, so let's not give it a rating because it's still going, but
Yeah.
obviously started in winter, continuing through in spring. So that's
I'm gonna keep
exciting.
watching it. So
Cool. Okay, cool. That's exciting. I mean, it sounds like it gets at least a little more interesting from what you're saying. So
yeah.
I
is she
enjoy
the
reading
best?
the manga,
Is she
too.
the best waifu of the season? Is she the waifu of the
No,
season?
Nino is. Nino's the best waifu of the season.
Let's do best waifu
I
at the
cannot
end.
stress this. Okay.
Oh,
Let's
we'll
do
do
best
best
waifu at the
waifu.
end.
of the
Best
season.
waifu again, best waifu.
But one last
Haku is my waifu. So
one last
Dr.
thing I'll
Stone.
say about is it so I'm a spider, so what, or is it
I think
whatever?
it's-
I'm a spider.
I think it's so I'm a spider, so what?
Right. Thank you.
fucking isekai names. Shit.
I hate it.
So,
I hate it.
Last thing, and I keep forgetting the main spider's name, but her voice actress is what makes the show. I think it's
that's
during
cool.
the spider parts. It's really just her having a long ass monologue because she's like talking about like her plans, what she needs to do next, if the spider if like an enemy comes up, she's like talking to the enemy, but they're not responding, so it's like she's talking to a wall. But it's very. I think that voice actress is doing a really great job in that role. I don't know what else she's done. She's done a lot, I believe. But I love that voice actress. So
that's awesome. I assume you mean the Japanese voice actress.
Yes,
there is an English dub already, I think. Okay.
Yeah, we only talk about subs on this
Subs
show.
over done. Subs over done.
We're not gatekeeping. We're not gatekeeping. If you watch dubs,
watch what you enjoy.
Watch what you want. But I'm just saying, Japanese voice actors and actresses just do a better job, in my opinion. I'll just leave it at that.
Did you watch Joseph Scream Caesar? Did you watch him? Did you see him?
Some people, yeah. I mean, if you enjoy dubs, no harsh feelings. I get it. But yeah, for those of us that are into I think that just watching the subtitled version,
it just feels like there's more passion. I don't know. Yeah, that might just be me.
It has to do. I've actually read a little bit about this. It has to do with like the linguistics of the Japanese language. There's like a little bit more of it's like hard to capture the sort of emotional ups and downs in the voices. Like I really read about this once. There's like I'm getting really off track, but for real, there's like been linguistic research onto like why it feels like there's a heightened level of emotion and variance in the way that they say words, because there's actual like syllabistic like difference or something. Like someone go research it, because for reals, there's like actual research that's been done as to why it feels that way. And I mean, it's, it's research. It's legit. I don't know. It's research. But English voice actors, they do their damn best. So they try their best. Some of them, I think, could try a little fucking harder. Some of them, there's a couple really high quality English dub voice actors out there. Unfortunately, they're few and far between, and they're scattered in with all of these amateurish, quickly recorded. With simuldubs being a thing now, some of these things go from script to recorded to completed and put on the internet in like fucking a week or some shit. It's such a fast turnover that some of these dub voice actors are just putting out the best performance they can as fast as they can. And a lot of them are amateurs. I mean, I hate to say it, but like a lot of them come from maybe a traditional acting background, but they don't really have a voice acting background. Some of them have been in the business for freaking ever, and it's a really tough industry to break into. So, my props to those of you that are in it. I don't think anyone who's in the voice acting industry will ever fucking watch this episode. But if you do, I love you, and you keep doing your thing. Dub voice actors, you're going to get there.
So final thing about So I'm a Spider Silhouette. So the voice actress for Kumoko as a spider is Aoi Yuki, and she's in a shit ton of stuff. She is Diane in Seven Deadly Sins.
She's great.
She's Tamaki in Fire Force. She's Suyu in My Hero.
She's okay as Tamaki. Fire Force is kind of unwatchable. Okay, continue.
But those are like the popular things that I'm seeing, at least the ones that I know.
Get in the comments. Get in the comments.
No, nobody fight me about this. I don't like Fire Force. Okay, I've tried. I don't like it. I get it. People like it, and you can enjoy what you want. Fire Force it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I tried. I've tried my best, and I watched 8 episodes of it before I dropped it.
Oh shit! Some people she's Futaba.
Just keep watching. Whatever. Okay. Wow. She's what?
She's Futaba Sakura in Persona 5. She's the Japanese voice actress for Futaba. That's crazy. Wow.
Persona 5 is one that I
like her even more. It's crazy.
Okay, so another series that I finished this season was SK8 the Infinity. I think I'm the only one. Or did either of you guys finish it?
I didn't finish it. I want to. I'll go back to it.
Go back to it. But in brief, for those of you listening, SK8 the Infinity is one of the first animes about skateboarders and a kind of like Japan skateboarding street culture, but it's also just like a straight up like beautiful boys shonen. It has like there's like very little like logistic skateboarding stuff actually involved. There's like a lot of like super powered skateboarding stuff, people like flying down hills, being able to reverse their boards completely backwards. There's one skateboard that's like a fully functioning AI that like talks to its owner. At one point, the main bad guy like jumps off his skateboard and just whacks people in the face with his skateboard. There's like very little like reality. And then in the end, there's like this whole thing about like going into the zone and they're like in another dimension and like skating on the other planets. It's pretty wild.
Dope is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing is what it turned into. So what blew my mind is like I think what captivated me the most about this series is that while every episode had an awesomely, beautifully animated by Bones skating sequence, right? You always had a skating sequence, but the other halves of the episode were pretty much these like deep character moments. And the big theme of the show is overcoming like loneliness and finding shared hobbies with people that you love, and spending time with them and doing it. That's sort of the theme of the show. Because of that, a lot of people have latched on and started to sort of ship a lot of the boys together, even though none of them are openly or say that they're gay in the show. But there's a lot of shipping occurring between these beautiful boys. And it's because these boys are fucking beautiful. Go watch it. Some of the most beautiful boys ever.
Just some beautiful, just some nice boys. Just some
I'm okay
boys.
with that. We need
Boys
some
that
more
love each
beautiful
other,
boys.
man.
And there was a lot of loving. I mean, honestly, they really care about each other. But definitely some friendships that are really tight and really well written. And I think that's what surprised me. I thought this was just going to be like a fun skating anime, but there's actually a really pretty cohesive narrative about people caring about each other and that sort of powerful theme. And I'm a sucker for themes, and I'm a sucker for character moments. If a show has a lot of really solid, well-written dialogue between two characters, I usually am bought in. You know, if the dialogue between two characters is pretty ass, doesn't seem like anyone has motivation, purpose, or value, like the entirety of the Promised Neverland season 2, then it's tough to be bought in. But Skate did a really good job of balancing character moments with fun shonen action and a lot of really, really beautiful animations. And that's really all it was. I hope they don't do another season. I think the first season ended great. I think it ended as a good show and a good kickoff. I do have some opinions about the bad guy. I don't know if he really got what was coming to him, is the best way to put it. There was some more that they could have maybe done there, is all I'll say, without spoiling it like too hard for these two as well. Overall, this is like a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10. I think that this series has a lot of hands on, lots of great characters, lots of great moments, lots of fun action, super fast paced, only 12 episodes, really digestible, and just beautiful animation. And the soundtrack's awesome. And you guys remember the opening and ending.
Yeah.
Opening and ending
solid
are great.
Opener, solid ending.
But overall, soundtrack on the show was fucking dope. So I would encourage anyone who likes sports anime and is willing to, and is not off-put by stuff like Free or Yuri on Ice, because this was designed by the same group of people, I believe, that were involved with Free. So if you're not off-put by that, but you like shonen sports animes, go ahead. It's a quick watch. You know, you can go right through it. It's a lot of fun. I wasn't bored at all. I loved watching it weekly. Probably even more fun binging it, if I were to guess, because there's just so much skateboarding. And if you really like skateboarding and cool tricks and shit, there's a lot of that too. There's some skateboarding, there's some cool tricks, people hitting some ollies and shit, going down hills, sliding backwards, going in the rain. He's got rain tires. There's all sorts of weird shit that happened in this show.
He's got rain tires.
Wacky skate adventures. So that's all I'll say. You boys definitely check it out. But I'm stuck. It's maybe more of like a 6.5. This is not like one of the best anime of all time. But it was fun to watch, and I didn't get bored. So I just kept with it, and it was a lot of fun. So I don't know. All right, Kenny, you got another one for us?
First, I want to start by pouring one out for all our homies in Netflix jail. B-Stars.
Everybody take a shot for Netflix jail.
B-Stars!
Netflix jail. B-Stars, rest in peace, bro. I never am going to get to watch you season 2. Shaman King should be out already, but fuck my life. Netflix jail.
Worst part is B-Star season 2 is over.
It's
And
done.
It's still on Netflix.
Yeah,
It's over. It's still
any
on
show stuck in Netflix jail, just, you know, I hope to see you soon.
I think that the last season of 7 Deadly Sins is stuck in Netflix jail right now too. So
I want to pour one out for my homies at Promised Neverland as well for getting a shitty, what the fuck even is that sort of adaptation.
Let's briefly talk about it, Kenny, because
we gotta talk about it.
David, did you watch season 2 at all?
I stopped watching after I realized they skipped 100 chapters.
Okay, great. And then Kenny, you've read the manga all the way through.
Read the manga all the way through.
My dumbass watched the whole second season, and I know I was gonna give up, but I was like, I'm just gonna stick it through and see what's going on here. I'm gonna read the manga next because I have to.
Right.
I'm so sorry that exists, guys.
I don't know. Here's what I don't understand.
I'm sad that I watched it.
Why would they spend 6 episodes going on the right track? If they needed to rush to the end, I feel like they should have, like, I don't know. It felt like halfway through the season they got told they were only going to do that season.
Yeah, it's confusing.
No Goldie Pond, no Seven Walls, no Demon Capital.
Gone.
None of that.
Gone. None of the fucking. You don't meet any of the demon royalty. You know, like, what the fuck?
You meet the queen in the very last episode in one split second.
Really? That's crazy. Do you
she has a single line. Someone like walks into her throne room and they're like, the queen. And the queen's like, what's going on? And that was like something like that.
Wait, does the anime ending match the manga ending? Jared, do you know?
It's pretty close. This is what Alyssa said. She read the manga and she watched the anime with me. It's pretty close. There's some slight variants, and they like slideshow a bunch of shit at the end. Like legitimately,
love slideshows.
It's like 8 pictures set to music. It's like a slideshow ending of like most of some stuff that they skipped. Yeah, it's pretty similar, but it's not 100%.
Worse.
Oh yeah, it's fucking ass. The whole season was ass, guys. I hated it.
I liked it until because Kenny? I think it was like episode 4 or 5 is when they like time skipped and just like skipped a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they just skipped everything.
Yeah,
it happened between the actual like time skip happened, I believe, between 5 and 6.
Yeah,
and no, it was between 4 and 5. You're right. Between 4 and 5, I believe, and then at the end of 5 is when like the reveal happened that they sped up to get to.
Yeah,
and then 6 onward is all just fucking a mess. I mean,
bullshit. Just read the manga. If you like season 1, read the manga. If you didn't like season 1, don't worry about it. Just don't watch season 2 ever. Just don't watch it.
Season 1 was so good too.
The one thing I can encourage everyone to do is like, if you've never seen it, feel free to watch season 1. If you just want to watch a fun anime, watch season 1. Go for it. If you've also never seen it, feel free to just start the manga from the beginning and read it all the way through. Another good suggestion. If you watch season 1 and you loved it, go read the manga. Don't do this to yourself and watch season 2. If for some god-awful reason you still watch season 2, turn around and go start the manga. It's just go do it. You're going to be happier if you do. Season 2 was an absolute shit show. And I'll give you guys a couple highlights here. Just so you guys know, like, just some weird shit that happens. Like, just Norman's motivation is destroyed. We don't understand his character at all anymore. It's absolutely mushed into oblivion. What's his name? Rattray, Kenny? James Rattray? Peter Rattray. That character is just fucking half-assed into oblivion and gets like a slideshow flashback like in the second to last episode.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
That was the last episode I saw.
I was like, am I supposed to care about this guy? I sure as fuck don't know. Because it didn't help me to care about him. And then just all sorts of wild stuff. Fuck, is his name Ryu? I can't even think of the other kid's name.
Who?
The main other kid, Norman, isn't it Ryu and
Ray?
And Emma?
Ray.
I was like, Ryu, what the fuck's wrong with me? Ray and Emma. Ray, his motivations jump back and forth in the back half. You don't know what the fuck he's up to until finally he just like commits to like solving all of demon problems at the end. The ending is miserable. Just, I don't even want to like talk about the ending. The whole fucking gate and shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. And all the kids just go and be normal kids in like New York or some shit. I was like, I don't know what's going on. The ending was unbearable.
Wait, does Emma not get separated though?
Emma stays in the demon world until the very, very end. She like lets all the kids go through the gate. It's just a mess. It's terrible. I don't know what else to say. As someone that had not read the manga, I've never read the manga. I was just watching it. The amount of just narrative collapse that happens in the back half, characters start losing motivation. You start getting exposition dumps for full episodes. I mean, just complete like ups and downs that didn't make any sense. Twists that were coming out of nowhere. Things that were not set up. There were things that were set up that never got concluded. I mean, the whole narrative just did work. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but it just did not. Even as someone who never read the manga, I was sitting there thinking like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are they doing that? Or like, what's causing this?
And it's so crazy because the season 1 was such a great adaptation, and the pacing in season 1 was perfect, and the twists and turns, like the surprises, was all done beautifully. And it's just crazy how you go from such a great adaptation, and I still don't know why they felt like they had to force all of it in a second season. Nobody knows all of the. I don't think there's been any official word. I don't know if anyone knows the truth. There's a lot of theories and rumors and blah 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 blah. Right. But nothing like definitive though. Right. The prominent theory is that the ending of the manga was not well received, so sales for the manga started to drop off. So the production studio behind the anime didn't feel confident in a second season that was a direct adaptation. So they decided to, instead of canceling it, they were just going to come up with a conclusion.
And what they did is they just hodgepodge the back half of the series together to come up with an ending for this series. That's the prominent theory. Yeah. The prominent theory is that the studio essentially abandoned the project. They didn't feel confident about it making money anymore. They felt like people were not happy with the series direction in the manga, and they decided that they just were going to hodgepodge what they could, come up with an ending, and never talk about Promised Neverland again, which feels really weird because Kaiju Shirai, the original author, was brought in to like help with some of these adjustments supposedly, but then also no one's like, I read some sort of article. Someone was saying like everybody's like denying who wrote the last episode or something, and it was like
no one's going to admit.
Nobody claims it. Yeah, no one's like I didn't fucking write that shit. So it's like that's so weird to me because it's clear that like this just seems like an absolute like mess. Like nobody seems to know what in the world actually happened. But what we do know is that the manga and Kenny, I've heard that the manga the ending wasn't well received. I mean, I've seen,
I don't know.
I've seen comments from people that when it was coming out that people weren't really happy with it.
I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed the whole series as a whole.
I mean, I've read comments saying that pretty much after they escape the house, the rest of the series is kind of a downward spiral.
I don't know about that. I'm not joking. I liked every bit of it all the way up to the end. So
see, and my wife liked most of it too. I mean, she felt like the very end maybe got a little fuzzy, but
after there were a couple like OVA chapters, like I don't even know what you call those, but there were
they were like
epilogue chapters or something.
Yeah, sort of. And they sort of add some context, and I was happy with those. And
I don't know, there's already kind of an outcry like, give us Promised Neverland Brotherhood. Like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I just don't think
the anime just came out. It just
it's gonna be a while if that ever were to happen.
Right, it would take a lot of time to get there, and it would just be like it would have to be a pure passion project. Because I just don't think
you don't need to remake season 1 either. Like season 1, you don't need to. That's perfect the way it is.
The first season of the anime is actually an incredibly well done adaptation. So it's like there's certainly gonna whoever does choose to maybe take up the project will be in a tough spot. Do they just start at season 2, which is maybe I don't know if there's any examples of it happening before, but it's maybe not unheard of for someone to grab it and be like, okay, I'm the new production studio. I'm going to start after this and I'm just going to continue. I don't know. But if it happens, I think it's going to be a long time out and it's going to have to be a passion project. I just don't think there's enough financial support for a company to be like, oh, hell yeah, people are real stoked on the rest of it. Promised Neverland after the first season.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years, who knows? But I think people need to kind of relax on the whole, like, Promised Neverland Brotherhood now. Like, it's just, I don't know.
People are saying the same thing. So this won't be anything specific for Attack on Titan, but there's people already saying, like, sign this petition to get MAPPA to animate a new ending for Attack on Titan because the ending's ass. So people are like,
people think the ending is so bad. I love it because this is something that I've been saying from the beginning. Okay, Attack on Titan. He did not know where his story was going, and he just kept writing. And I'm telling you, they're like, oh, everything came together, and oh, everything calls back to itself. And the Attack on Titan author had no idea what he was writing, and it's not even drawn well. And that anime gave it life.
I don't want to talk about the manga's artwork, dude.
I'm anti-Attack on Titan. Okay,
here's the thing about Titan. I agree
so
with
fucking dumb.
Okay, let's move on. So Promised Neverland season 2 was literally trash balls. I'm giving it like a 2 out of 10 because I did watch it. Fuck that shit. I never want to watch it again. Maybe a 1 out of 10. I don't even know. It's unbearable. Don't watch it.
Watch season 1 and then pick up in the manga. Read the manga the rest of the way through.
Let's move on to Titan. Titan had a season conclude as well.
Yep.
So here's the deal. David and I watched the anime, right?
Yes, I did.
Kenny, you've never actually read the manga or like continued with Titan, have you?
No, I read for a while and it was just
read some synopses.
It's hard to read. Yeah, and then it just like it sounds like it makes no goddamn sense, and he just kills characters for no reason, and then
bridge the gap. I think because I think that Titan is gonna be comparable in the long run to a series like
Game of Thrones
in some ways to Brotherhood. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, it's going to be considered a very well respected series as a whole.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think that it's nowhere near as well written as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Let's just put that out there. No. Titan is not that. It is not that. It's nowhere near as well drawn. The manga looks like it's drawn by a 4-year-old sometimes. I can't draw better than him, so no disrespect. He's a good artist or whatever, but I do think as a professional.
To be honest, I think you could draw better than him.
Maybe in some degree I might actually, but most people probably can't. I hate to disrespect him because there's times where bad artists can do really cool stuff. Look at One. I think Mob Psycho looks awesome, even though it's poorly drawn.
Right.
I just don't think Titan was the right story to have like maybe a poorly drawn. Or I don't know. Hajime Isayama, it's whatever. He can do whatever he wants. I understand why Shonen Jump turned him down at the beginning because I would have been hesitant if I was working for Shonen Jump and someone handed me that. I would also be confused. Here's the deal. I agree with you, Kenny, 100% that in the middle of Attack on Titan, he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, like, no matter how you flex it, season 2 of the anime, whatever that it correlates to in the manga, is kind of a hot fucking mess. And I remember watching it thinking like, oh no. I was like, this is where are we headed?
Is that the part where with what's her name? Anne or Anna is like running away? Like
correlates
that whole arc?
to Ymir and Krista's whole story arc. You've got Reiner and
but that's not her name.
Bertolt. Reiner and Bertolt reveal that they are the Titans.
Yeah.
There's some back and forth of like kidnapping Eren during that part.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. And I think that kind of leaks over into season 3 as well a little bit, but
yeah.
Whatever. It gets a little messy. Finally, through some flashbacks, through some shit here and there, and then season 3 kind of has all that crazy shit where like the king or whatever and his blood, he turns into a fucking blob, and he's like he's slugging across the land of Paradise. And they slowly uncover the history. That's when the story starts to really find its treads of like, this is no longer a story about Titans eating people. It's really a story about historical and problematic systemic and racist issues. Like that's, I mean, and it's about the theme of Attack on Titan to me by the end, or by where we're at in the anime, is the impact that war has on society.
Is war good?
And, yeah, exactly. Is war good? That's the question. And I think that somewhere in there, Isayama probably did know he was headed in some direction towards this, but it does feel like it took many years for him to figure out, oh, okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this to get me there. And because of that, it's really tough to say that it's going to be like, and I've heard bad things about the manga ending. I've heard good things about it. I've heard mixed. I don't know how people feel about it. I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to read it because I just don't want to be spoiled. But I'm excited to see what the anime does with it in the winter. So
you guys want to hear about a better anime about war and the aspect of war on children as they're growing up? It's called what's that anime called?
I'm waiting for you to say Vampire Knight.
I thought you were gonna say Vampire Knight.
Fucking, not Vampire Knight, bro. Fucking the Viking one. It was just
Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga is literally about the aspect.
Who animated Vinland Saga and Attack on Titan?
One?
I think it's Crazy Studio. Crazy. I think it's one of the best animation studios working today.
And also I feel like there are tons of other mecha anime, because let's be honest, Attack on Titan is a mecha anime. Nobody can tell me otherwise. There are tons.
It slowly becomes that when they start.
It's a mecha anime.
Titan heads and
it's a mecha anime. Okay. There are tons of other mecha anime that go into that. I mean, look at Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Like, that similar. Is the direct impact on children and the underprivileged in the aspect of war. And I just,
Titan's great, but it does have its flaws, and I think some of the super fans are not accepting of those flaws. Yeah. And I love the series. I loved every episode of the new season. I think Mappa did great with it. I am going to respect those of you who hold strong opinions about the animation decisions Mappa made. Fine. I personally really enjoyed it.
I think it matches more to the theme and look of the manga, honestly, compared to what Wit does. Like, Wit is great at making things beautiful and just like seamless, and just makes you want to love what you're seeing.
The first 3 seasons of Titan are beautiful. Beautiful, yeah. I mean, it's hard to compare.
The Kenny and fucking I can't remember his name. People are gonna hate me for this.
Kenny and who? What?
Kenny's the guy with the hat.
Kenny's the guy with the hat.
People are gonna hate me for this.
I don't.
Short guy. Levi. Yeah, I forgot Levi's name.
Levi.
People are gonna hate me.
Levi.
Levi's not my favorite character. That's probably why. But
whoa, people love Levi.
Oh no. But the Levi and Kenny fights in season 3 were probably some of the best animation I've ever seen. And like, I mean, a lot of people have that opinion too. But like,
do you remember fucking when Levi had to, advance through that city as the Beast Titan was like fucking throwing rocks at him?
Yeah.
And Levi like warped up his fucking arm and like shit.
Fucking Beyblade that shit.
That's one of my favorite anime fight scenes, maybe of all time.
Yeah.
Incredibly fun by Wit Studio. Holy shit, that scene kicked my ass.
But I think Mappa's animation is good. It's not comparable to Wit, obviously, but it's still really good.
If Mappa had just done it from the beginning, I don't think people would have ever. But unfortunately, people are comparing Mappa to Wit, and Mappa is one of the best studios working today too.
Yeah.
But Wit is, I just have a hard Wit's on a pedestal for me. They're just very, very good, and they make very specific choices with the shows that they work on, and all this stuff. Wit's very good, just like Bones is very good. Madhouse is very good. Who else is another?
IG Production, they're pretty good, right?
IG Productions, they do a lot of sports stuff now, but they're still really good. I mean,
UFO Table
is a fucking genius. I mean, just incredible. Just so many great studios out there now. Cloverworks is okay. I feel like they're okay.
Wonder Egg Priority. Oh, we gotta talk about Wonder Egg Priority.
Yeah, we'll get there. Kyoto Animation, some of those ones. Those are okay studios. They do some good stuff here and there. But Titan, for part one of the final season, I would give it like a really strong 7.5, like a really strong 7.5, maybe 8. Really great season, and I think the finale could be. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this half of it, honestly. Like,
it wouldn't be an Attack on Titan finale without a hella cliffhanger. So
yeah, I mean, they kind of fucked us with the choice of where to stop, and I don't know why they just didn't keep going. But I guess we're gonna take a year break and then come back to it next winter. So
honestly, the second half, Jerry, it's when it gets fucky.
I mean, I guess
it's when it gets fucky, Jerry. That's all I'll say.
I'll read the manga because I just need to know, but I need to know. But I do think I'm gonna ruin it for myself because I've just enjoyed never reading the manga for Titan and just only sticking to anime. I've been anime only this whole time, and I think that I'm gonna finally break that for this. But we'll see. Whatever. Yeah. Titan's good. It was good. It was whatever. It's whatever. Hopefully hopefully this is a show that doesn't go down in infamy. Hopefully it doesn't get Game of Thrones. Hopefully people don't just hate it forever. Jerry. I hope that Titan survives this because I do think portions. It just looks how much of Titan is so good, and then how much of it's kind of rough. That's the tough part. It has some really strong contrast.
What if I told you that it is Game of Thrones?
No, see but some people have told me they like the ending. Some people told me they like it.
I mean, it's like split down the middle. I feel maybe I feel like more people dislike it than like it, but I don't know. A lot of people are also just like appreciative of like thank you like Isayama for this great story blah blah blah. It's like it's over. It's and also I mean I have no idea how I would end it personally. So I mean it's kind of and also hype is poison. This thing was hella hyped and
Aaron's wrong. He's
it's
wrong.
hard to end a long-running shonen. Kenny can attest. He loves to talk about how shonen
spiral.
They spiral. It's hard to end a long-running shonen and it be a good ending.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people like Naruto and Bleach had rough endings after all their years, and
I thought people liked Naruto's ending. I don't know.
I think Naruto's ending's fine. It just didn't really happen. There's still no end. I mean,
it's not done.
The ending was a fucking promotion for
Boruto.
The shit that's still going. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't even know what Naruto's ending really is. But
he got a son.
Yeah, he got a kid now. Whatever. Okay, boys.
Do we want to talk about? I watched season 2 of both of the isekais, most of like the big isekais.
I didn't watch any of that.
So I didn't watch
season 2. Season 2 of Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Still just a fun romp. It's isekai fare. It does the isekai shit. I enjoy it. I watch it. Whatever. It's not anything groundbreaking, but I enjoy it. And then the end of season 2 of ReZero Might be my favorite isekai on the market right
Season
now.
2 got split into 2 cores. Is that what happened?
Yeah, 2 parts.
Okay.
But I think they did it back to back. Like it was one season. I think there was just a 1 season break. So
Okay.
But ReZero, I'm really happy with. We got a lot of answers. They asked some new questions. That's what this is what I cannot stand is whenever shows that don't make sense, like ReZero in particular, we don't get a lot of answers and we get a lot of questions. And I think that this season answered a lot of questions. There are still some questions, but I think that we are in a position now where a lot of the questions have been answered. And if they haven't been answered, we know where to find the answers. And so, I don't know. I really enjoy it. And I enjoy that sort of Groundhog's Day style of I don't know, storytelling, of trying to figure out how to fix the loop. Or, like I really liked All You Need Is Kill, which is a shorter manga that got adapted into that Tom Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow. I like that idea of the sort of time loop and figuring out how to fix the time loop and stuff like that. Or even like Erased is similar to that.
Yeah.
So I like that style of storytelling, and I think ReZero might be one of the best isekais on the market right now, if not the best. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I hear claims that it's the best isekai of all time.
Yeah. I don't think it's just a standard natural isekai though. It is an isekai, obviously, but it's not standard isekai fare, if that makes sense. Where Slime is, and I enjoyed Slime just as much. So
yeah, then that's good. So Slime, ReZero both come to a conclusion. Kenny, how do you rank them?
Like 8 or 9 out of 10, both of them. I mean, they both did exactly what you expected. Okay,
that's very good. Then they're very good.
High,
yeah.
You consider both these to be pretty high tier isekais, though. I hear that a lot.
I do.
Slime and
I would say that
Slime and ReZero are both pretty high tier isekais overall.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of isekais, there's another show, Mushoku Tensei.
Oh, wait. We'll get into it. I think there's a couple. I'm trying to think. Are there any other shows that not all of us watch before
we get lighter ones?
Me and David both watched One Direct Priority.
Oh yeah, you guys both watched Wonder Egg. I know there's a finale episode still.
Yeah, I would love. I enjoyed all of it thus far, but yeah, they left us fucking waiting. They gave it to us. I mean, there's obviously another episode to come, and I wanted to watch it right then, and we can't. It's coming. So
yeah, and it's gonna be like a big ass episode too. It's like final boss type of episode, and
that's cool.
I don't think it comes out till end of June, Kenny. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll be waiting for a bit.
Wonder Egg Priority was very cute and it was very emotional. It was as it sort of set out to be, sort of the emotions of these young girls as they're going through the idea of
I remember the first episode.
Suicide.
Yeah.
And so it's abstract. It's very abstract, but also, but I really enjoyed it.
The first episode looked gorgeous.
Oh, it looked great all season. Okay?
I'm excited to watch the rest.
Yeah, the animation is beautiful. Like, I think the biggest thing with this show is that its method of theming on such, not really like hot topics, but topics that are like pretty like difficult to talk about for a lot of people. So like identity. There's one of the girls, she cuts herself, so there's like a whole episode about like self-harm and like parental relationships. There's just a lot of some deep shit that it focuses on from episode to episode that teenagers, specifically young women, I mean a lot of young people deal with on a daily basis. So it was interesting to see like the whole, and I won't spoil it for you, Jerry, but
don't give me a full spoiler.
But I won't give full spoiler. But like
teeter the line.
The basic premise is that there's kids that women, young girls that commit suicide, and they're kind of transported in a way to this other world, and our main characters travel to this other world and help these girls that commit suicide kind of overcome their demons, the reasons why they committed suicide. Yeah, and so. And each person that they meet had committed suicide for very different reasons, and all of those reasons are touched on. And like I said, a lot of the topics are, could be close to home for some people. And so I thought like the messaging in the show is very well done. I don't think I've seen the show, especially because there was a whole episode about identity. Like one of the girls was like, or boys, because she says, "I'm not a girl, I'm a boy." I'm a girl. I'm a boy trapped in a girl's body, and I don't think I've seen any other anime that kind of touches like on that specific subject. And I thought it was handled really well in that episode. So it's a very woke show. Very woke show.
Yeah. Seems really well handled. I mean, I'm excited to watch it myself. I'm going to wait for the finale episode to come out because I know it's delayed or whatever, or whenever it's going to come out. But I was going to marathon it all and then wait for it with you guys. But I think I'm just going to wait till it's all out and then I'll watch it. But because I assume they won't do you guys feel like there's a second season coming or something like that?
No, it feels like this is the last episode. Like it felt
it'll
like
be a complete story, right?
Yes, I think so.
It might even be like an hour-long OVA or like something like longer than just like the traditional 20-something minute episode.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see them being able to wrap it up in 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes. I think that there are some unanswered questions. I'm ready to not unanswered, but yeah, just things were coming to their conclusion, and it's upsetting to stop right before.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. And I think that's it, guys. I think. Do you guys want to give it a rating? What would you rate it right now? 10 out of 10? No,
I mean, I'm gonna give it like a 9. Like,
yeah, I would say 9 as well.
9,
and depending,
so good.
if the last episode is great, it may be a 10. But
right. Okay. Cool. That's exciting.
Yep.
Damn, I'm excited to watch it. I need to watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm vibing. The only other quick shows that I watched also, obviously I watched Dr. Stone season 2. I don't think either of you guys watched it yet. Did you?
No.
If you
read the manga,
I'll just say it now. If you like Dr. Stone season 1, season 2 is perfect. I mean, it was a panel for panel adaptation of the next arc. The pacing was good. The animation was better than season 1, and everything knocked it out of the park. So obviously, if you like season 1, just keep watching it. They did a good job. I'm happy they didn't divert from the manga at all. They didn't move away from anything. They just kept adapting it, which is, I think, what we can all hope for an anime adaptation, right? Like, I prefer that to some of other choices people have made. So yeah, great adaptation of the next part of Dr. Stone. So if you're into it, really cool opening as well. Really great job. 7.5 out of 10, easy. I love Dr. Stone though, so it's not for everyone, but I do love it. And then obviously we're gonna save this one for another episode, but I want to tell everyone, obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen came to a conclusion at the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of us are kind of on the whole, maybe one of the best modern shonens right now. So we'll do a whole episode on it hopefully very soon. But in brief, I know for me, I am in love with the series. I think it's fantastic. But in brief, boys, do you guys have any thoughts about JJK?
That shit's fucking hype as fuck.
I like Jujutsu Kaisen.
10 out of 10.
I read the manga, so.
Kenny's a manga reader on it, but I'm an anime watcher, and I've been buying the manga now too to get it all together. So just fantastic. Love it. So we'll talk more about that on hopefully another episode where we can go deep dive on JJK for you guys, because what a first season, and a great and stellar job by Mappa. I mean, I can't understate that. Is they
probably
put in a
their
lot
best
of
work.
work.
Probably their best work.
Really. Okay. When we did our review of 13 brand new anime series at the beginning of this season, there were 3 shows we pick on each of our review episodes. Like that, we always pick kind of the shows we were the most excited for. And the top of the list after we watched the first episodes were Mushoku Tensei and Horimiya. And a lot of people out there in the world like these 2 shows a lot too. And all 3 of us boys, we stuck it out and we watched the whole season of both these shows. So let's get into, what do we want to start with, boys? Horimiya or Mushoku? Where are we at?
I don't care.
Let's do Horimiya.
Okay, let's start with Horimiya. Kenny, you know the drill. Give us a brief summary synopsis. What's
Horimiya is about Hori-san and Miyamura-kun and their budding relationship, bro, and their relationships with other people, and sort of. I think that a lot of I love that the introspection on Miyamura, and like the fact that he was sort of a more shy kid and scared of things and a little bit bullied, and he grows into this sort of guy that really loves his friends and loves the people around him, and doesn't look so. I mean, he starts to he looks back on his time in middle school and even earlier in high school, how he didn't have the relationships that he has now, and he he's grown from that, and he understands that he wouldn't always be like that, and he's happy the way he is. And I love the relationships between the characters, each of the relationships that we sort of see, the one between their 2 friends, Yuki and I don't remember the guy's name. The relationship between brother and sister that they see with their friends and their, all the different relationships that bud and grow throughout their high school life. And I mean, I love it. It's so cute. And it's so like, I don't know. I really enjoy romance, and I really enjoy sort of heartfelt romance like this. And it's funny. And they sound like people whenever they talk to each other. Like, sometimes in romance, it kind of doesn't sound like they're people. They're like, oh, I love you so much. I never want to be apart from you. And you're like, okay, people say that, but not like all the time forever.
Right.
And this is definitely a lot more cute. I love, okay, this is one of my favorite things. Hori's, whenever she's like, Miyamura, I want you to treat me like shit. She's like, I want you to hit me and treat me like shit. And he's like, I love the idea that, he loves her so much and he wants to do that for her, but it makes him feel uncomfortable. And so like, they sort of have that, I don't know, like a sort of relationship discussion about it. I don't know. And I love Hori's dad, how much he loves Miyamura. He's like, my son, Miyamura. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, I think that this is the type of romance anime that really works as like almost like an introduction to the genre for people. If they were like not bought into romance animes, like this is a really solid starting point because it's pretty straightforward. The characters are fun to watch. It's well paced. I mean, it's a really easy watch, and definitely keeps you pretty captivated because all the characters are likable, which is something that not every romance anime does. Like sometimes there are some shitty people involved.
Yeah.
But this show, every character, you can kind of root for all of them in their own circumstances, and I think that really helps for a show like this because I don't know. Like I said, some romances there's like characters you don't want to root for, and it kind of turns you off a little bit from it. But logistics wise, boys, what did you guys think? Like animation, music, all.
I thought it looked great. I actually really loved the opening song.
The opening song, I added it to the Spotify anime playlist. That's just a bop. It's so good.
It's a good one. It's a great.
I like the ending song too.
The ending's good
I do too, but I like the opening song more, bro.
I never skip the opening.
But I do think the music overall, some of the usage of there's like one theme song that kind of plays when the colors separate from their bodies. And I thought that was a pretty good usage of music to kind of illustrate the color thing. I'm not sure that was such a weird style. I don't know. It was a cool, I like it is what I want to get at first. But the whole like, when they're like having like a endearing moment, it's like their color like comes out of their body or whatever.
Yeah. Or like, they come to an emotional understanding. That's how I always saw it.
Yeah, it's like if a moment's happening between two people, all of a sudden they're just in this white bubble, and there's just colors behind them, and it's really, I think that's a cool little animation decision because I assume the manga doesn't really do that.
I mean, it's manga, you can't
you can't really do that. So that's like a choice the animators made that I really enjoyed, and I gotta respect them for that because it's a pretty simple animation when it comes down. Like romance, you're not gonna have these cool fight scenes, the Sakuga moments. There's not really any of that. Because the animation is just a little more simple, and because that, they have to find something else to make it exciting visually, and so I think they accomplished that with sort of the color blocks. But yeah, logistically, it was a really fun show. Music, animation, voice work, all that was really pretty impressive. I didn't have any complaints with that stuff. David, what did you think about the story, though?
I mean, overall, I thought the story, it's like a pretty simple story. There's nothing really too deep about it. Just the overall theme of just relationships, love, just finding things about people that you can find a connection with and enjoy about. Like, I think it's Miyamura-kun, there's like multiple times in the show where he just like lists off of like basically all of Hori's flaws, but it's like the reason why he loves her so much. Right. And there's like a scene where it's like, oh, I can't remember the name of the guy, but oh, you like Hori? Like, could you hit her when she tells you to? And he's like, well, I can never hit her. It's like, oh, well, you can never be with her. So it's just,
and he was so dejected too.
Yeah, he was like, oh.
I like that.
I can't remember what it was like the middle of the show when Miyamura was like hitting Hori and when she ran into the convenience store, he came out and he was like, what took you so long, bitch?
Yeah, dude. Yes,
that was
and then those guys are like, he treats her like that.
Yeah,
oh my god,
he's a monster too.
she like protected him or whatever from that was crazy, dude. I liked that.
And she's like brimming ear to ear. She's like, say it again, and you're like, he's like, oh.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to kink shame. It's like, I don't want to kink shame,
an interesting kink, honestly. That was, I didn't expect that at all.
I mean, that's honestly, I think, a pretty common one, though. I think.
I just didn't expect like the, I don't know, I didn't expect it out of Hori because like, I get it. The cool thing about this show is also that they're essentially like 18-year-olds for the most of it.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much adults.
They're graduating.
They're essentially graduate. I mean, the end of the show is graduation. So, that was pretty cool. The one thing that I'll say about the plot and pacing, the front half of the show I really, really enjoyed. I was really bought in the first 5-6 episodes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they did this, and I don't know if there was a better execution plan. In my mind, this could have been executed a little bit better. But the front half of the show had a pretty good focus on the drama of Hori and Miyamura, right? Like that was the focus, and because of that, we actually had some good like dramatic tension, especially like early on. You've got purple hair guy, I can't even think of his name, who also liked Hori, and then like Miyamura gets confronted by her. There was some like legitimate, some interesting drama, gripping drama sort of stuff. Then kind of in the back half, it just sort of became episodic. We kind of lost any sort of like continuing story. The first half had all of the like the actual like story, and the back half was like, okay, let's spin an episode with the green-haired guy and his little sister. And now let's spin an episode with the red-haired guy and his little girlfriend and what they do at his house in the books. And then let's spin an, you know what I mean? Let's spin an episode with the blonde girl. And I was like, part of me just wishes the story part had been spread out through the whole season, and like every other episode was like a cutaway episode or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that I would have been more invested had they just kind of spread out the side stories. And they got to remember though, backloaded.
You got to remember, real life is episodic, and I think that.
I mean, it could be episodic. Definitely...
and it was later in the season. It was more about them building relationships with other people, and Miyamura developing friendships with people. It's something that he had never really done before, and I
totally agree. But I think that unfortunately, like, it was like some of the building was lessened because we'd spend 19 minutes of the episode without Hori and Miyamura being on screen at all. You know what I mean? Like it would just be, I mean, the green-haired kids episode almost as like, I don't even know if Hori and Miyamura said more than 1 or 2 lines in that whole episode. And I was like, why the fuck do I care about the green-haired kid? And I'm like, I get it. He was there and he was there the whole time and he like hung out with him and shit. But then like, oh, he's cold to his sister at home and like his sister's grades are failing. I think that I would have actually cared more if that had been in the front. You know what I mean? Like if that had been early on and then green-haired guy was there kind of intermingling with Hori and Miyamura moving forward, I would have been like, oh, damn, green-haired guy's got serious shit going on, but I like the way he handles himself at school. I just think maybe it's not even a pacing issue. Maybe it's just an episode order issue. Like I just think that it was ordered weird. And I don't think it followed the exact order of the manga either. Well, I think they kind of moved some stuff around.
They just kind of, it seemed like they just picked stories they wanted to tell from the manga because there was stuff that just got entirely skipped over, and a lot of the big like, not like team up portions, but there was like there was a class festival that they sort of skipped over.
But it's cool.
That sounds fun.
In the last episode, the sort of photos that come down during the ending song are other little small arcs that they did. Like there was a small arc where Miyamura goes on a date with Yuki because he's still pretending. I don't even think it talks about it, but he pretends to be Hori's cousin instead of actually just being Miyamura whenever he has the long hair still.
Whoa.
That's one in particular I just remember them skipping over because she sees him jump over the fence and she's like, who is that? Yeah. And then Hori's like, oh, that's my cousin. And then they like go on a date and then Hori gets pissed off about it, obviously.
That's some cool. That's interesting that there was some, and I'm okay with it. I think that, I guess I'm being a little nitpicky by like saying that because I actually really loved the story and I loved the structure and I loved the whole show and I love all the characterizations. And even though like green-haired guy, maybe I don't know why that one sticks out. That specifically the green hair, I can't think of his name.
I think his story, Era.
His story specifically stuck out as one that I was very bored. Like I just remember thinking like, man, the rest of them I kind of enjoyed because at least like with the student council guy and the little girl, they were both involved in sort of the drama part. at the beginning,
Sengoku.
and then getting their side story was cool to me because I liked those characters or I wanted to see more about them. Same thing with obviously purple hair and what's her name, Yuki and purple hair guy
Ishikawa.
and they got Ishikawa. They got side stories later on as well. I liked that because those characters were there from day one, and they were a big part of the drama too. So I guess the green-haired guy was the only guy that, and I feel like they just maybe he was supposed to be more involved, and they just sort of cut his parts out or something.
Right. I mean, he always was, right? He was, you know,
yeah.
He
was like present. Like Iro was there, but I just constantly was like, he had like a line every episode, maybe, and it was like then we got a whole episode dedicated to him.
Yeah, his stuff definitely got cut out more. It felt like.
Yeah, so I just felt weird that they even gave him that episode. Maybe they should have just cut that completely, and maybe that would have helped a little bit because I don't know. That was the only guy that I was like, huh? But I mean, his story was still kind of cute, and it was kind of quirky. Yeah. I mean, the writing overall.
He loves his sister, man.
You said it, Kenny, but like the dialogue writing in this show was just very impressive.
Yeah.
Very well written and very natural sounding dialogue that made me connect better with these characters. So I don't know, David, Kenny, any other thoughts on Horimiya?
Oh, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it too. I agree that the pacing, it did seem like it was popcorny around the last few episodes.
Yeah.
Because there was like a period where I think Sawada, the younger girl who was introduced.
Oh yeah, she gets. Yeah, and then she just sort of disappears.
Yeah,
for a while
she like is introduced. She's like cut for a while, and then she just pops out of nowhere. And then
my god, yes, the girl that likes Tori.
Yeah. She just literally popped up one episode as if she was there the whole time, but she actually wasn't. So I was like, oh yeah, this character, cool. And another thing that I hate it when this happens. This doesn't happen often, but when a character is introduced, but they're like the show acts like they were there the entire time, but they were never actually introduced. Who was that little girl at the end? And
which one?
There was a little girl in Hori's house with her little brother.
It skipped her arc too.
She was
arc.
Kitty told me about that.
Arc, yeah.
Her little brother has like a side story about him falling in love or something, right?
Yeah, well, he just has like a play date with a girl, and it's cute, and Miyamura's there.
Why animate her in the episode when she was never introduced?
That's a great question, David. They probably just should have left it out.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah, but
damn,
that's weird. But yeah, I agree with you.
That annoyed me, but
I only knew about it because Kenny told me there was, and so when she popped up, I remember thinking like, oh, that's probably the girl that got cut out. That was all I remember thinking. Oh, cool.
I am very happy though that almost all of Hori's dad made it into the anime because he's my favorite character. Okay,
he's hilarious.
Very funny. Very funny character.
Hilarious. I love. He was like, "Is Miyamura coming to Christmas?"
Yeah.
She's like, "What? Do you not care
great
about
execution." Me? I feel weird about like why his mom lets him be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Man, Hori's mommy's to put her fucking foot down and just be like, "Get the fuck out of my house." Dude.
I love I don't know. I don't think it ever explains it, and I think that's intentional. You know, 2 high school kids are not going to know what's going on with their parents' relationship. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's really cute. I love him. He's my favorite character.
The last episode did it 3 times actually. So it was that little girl. You remember the red hair kid with glasses who came outside and was like, "Hey, Miyamura, what's up?" Like, we gotta go take this picture. You remember that?
That's the guy who wanted to date Yuki, wasn't it?
No, it was. He wasn't in the show except for that one scene. And then also the teacher.
I think I may have misplaced him as that guy, right? Kenny, the guy who used to have glasses, but then he didn't have glasses by the end.
Yeah, I thought.
Oh no, that's Yanagi.
Yeah, Yanagi. For some reason, I think I thought that was that guy too.
But it wasn't. It was a different character. Different character. Completely different character.
You know, they wanted to just do a just the complete whatever. You know, and definitely you can tell the story as the vignettes that it was sort of this.
Right.
You know, look into these characters' lives. So. I don't know.
I think that they could easily, and what's cool about the situation there is they adapted the brunt of the story. So the anime pretty much got it all. Yeah, they could totally do like one-off OVAs and adapt some of the other side stories for fun. And that's kind of a cool place they set themselves up in. Because they do OVAs? Who knows? But at least like there's the possibility. And now if someone wants to just watch the show, they've got the whole story beginning to end, which is pretty cool. So I don't know. I'm up and down on it, but you're right, David. They did kind of get
I mean, it's not at the end of the world. Like, it doesn't affect the anime overall. Like, it's still like pacing for the most part is well done. Like, it's still really cool to see, you know, the beginning of a lot of these relationships and then their blossoming and then end result at the end of the show. So we do get that beginning, middle, end, with basically all the important characters. So yeah, not the end of the world, but it still peeved me a little bit. It was like, who is this guy? What's his name?
It was like, what's happening? Who are these people?
Like, I just watched this. What is their name? Just so I can forget it later. But anyway.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, let's give it let's give it some numbers, boys.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
7.5.
Kenny's going right for it. What, David?
7.5.
Yeah, I think for me, this is like a solid. I'm gonna be a little more scrutinizing on it. I think this is like a.
Be honest. Be true to yourself, Jerry.
Get in the comments, guys. Jerry's opinions are.
I will give it a 7 out of 10. Horimiya is a 7 out of 10 for me. This was a solid romance. I enjoyed every episode. I had a couple nitpicks about the flow of the story, but it was a well-written character story, character-driven, and I like that. That's why I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was fun. It was cute. It was quirky, well-animated, good music. A show that I would encourage anyone who's interested in romance anime. Good starting point, in my opinion. This would be a good starting point.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion. But yes, I'm gonna. It's just hard. This is not like a masterpiece to me, right? Like this ain't an 8. This ain't no 9. This ain't no 10. Like I feel like I don't know.
No, I agree. It's definitely not a masterpiece. It's cute. It accomplishes what it's trying to convey. And that's
totally something I would suggest to people though. I would
Absolutely.
probably almost certainly. If someone asks, like, "Oh, I want to try," I'd be like, "Yeah, Horimiya is a great one to start with." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say this over Tonikawa.
Oh, for sure. Tonikawa was way more. The humor was a little more off kilter and
a little more anime.
Yeah, a little more weeby. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, let's talk about Mushoku Tensei. I think this is the big dog. A lot of people really like Mushoku Tensei, and I'll just set the record straight right now. This is it. This is the first time I've ever watched a fucking isekai and not fucking blown my brains out. This is the first time. I liked it. I liked an isekai. I just have to say,
It's pretty good.
I have to defend myself. I don't hate the genre. I don't want to hate the genre. I just, for some reason, fantasy elements and the whole reincarnation trope, I just don't find it very interesting. And a lot of times I feel like the characters within these stories lack motivation and they lack purpose. And because of that, it's hard to get invested as someone who was here to watch it for a certain reason. I think that sometimes isekais that don't take themselves too seriously are maybe a little bit more like manageable. But a show like Log Horizon that like tried to take itself God, I hated Log Horizon. I just feel so bad because I try these isekais and I really genuinely want to give them a shot. But I just feel like they're so deeply rooted in these tropes and these archetypes and these fucking things that every single one does. I have so much hard times with it, but damn, did I like Mushoku Tensei. Damn.
Well, that's just it. Mushoku Tensei
Shit was a bop.
It is the tropes, right? It's from fucking 2009.
It's
the progenitor of isekais.
It truly is one of the first. That's why it doesn't follow.
Because of that, it just feels like a cool story now. It doesn't feel like a show that is built on tropes, but it feels like a show establishing tropes or doing things that it feels like it was doing it for the first time. When I'm watching a new isekai like Log Horizon, they wake up and they're all of a sudden, episode later, they're masters of the virtual world. Instead, we spend 5 episodes of Rudy just like head ass growing up and having to deal with like normal shit. It's so much more time with the character, and I'm just every episode I was like, damn, this is a well-written character drama in an isekai world, and I'm cool with that, and I like that. So,
and also Rudy doesn't start. Rudy is not in isekais. It's like I'm the best swordsman and magician and fucking god in this world. And
right.
Rudy's just a great magician, right?
Yeah.
He's just a great magician.
Yeah.
He's okay with the sword, but he's just a great magician.
And not even by like
he earned that shit. He read.
Yeah.
He practiced.
He's got natural talent.
Yeah.
But he also works hard to embrace that natural talent.
Does it ever say his cheat? Has it said that?
Not in the anime.
He's supposed to be reborn with a special trait. It says in the manga, but I don't know if it'll ever say it. But he's reborn. Just pain doesn't hurt as bad. That's it. And so the headaches from him learning magic just kind of don't hurt as bad. That's his. That's his cheat or his trait that he's.
Yeah, that definitely didn't like impact the story at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know, boys. What do you guys think about Mushoku? I gotta just lay it on the line here. It looked like a fucking movie every episode. I mean,
it looked amazing.
There's no anime opening. No episode has an opening. There's a song that plays in the beginning while they run a couple credits on screen, but generally it's over world building. You know, you see a couple shots of a city or a place that they're at.
When the title glitters in, it just looks so good. It looks so beautiful.
Right, and that's so cool. And so, there's no traditional anime opening, so it makes it feel more like a movie. And then, it fucking looked great. It was beautifully animated, is all.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
The studio that was put together with, everyone has talked about it, but Mushoku Tensei's anime studio, they put themselves together to make Mushoku Tensei. Like, this studio exists because they wanted to make this show. So that's weird.
That's awesome, though.
But it just means they're really passionate about it. And because that, we got a beautiful, beautiful animation, art, music, voice acting, incredible job across the board for all of those aspects of it. I don't know. What do you guys think
about
the
sword fights, all the water spells? Like, I don't think I've ever seen water so beautifully animated.
Oh my god!
Like, it's crazy that this is just a normal anime show, or you're getting like movie quality scenes, and all the character designs, like the characters themselves, I'm really enjoying too.
Yeah.
And it's also cool that, because usually like the trope in a lot of like, I don't know about isekais, but just like overall like demons are like bad people, or like demons are like evil,
like
whatever.
fantasy worlds.
Yeah, exactly, fantasy worlds. And in this world, like they're just like everyone else, but they're like kind of in their own continent. And we kind of we get to explore that continent for a few episodes, because there's like a part where
the back half of the show.
Yeah, the back half of the show.
Spoilers,
yeah. And I don't think it was explained why it happened either, but basically something happens to where it transports Rudy and his party to we're
gonna learn
other side of the world, right?
Because there was essentially a battle ensues. What was it, like episode 6 or 7 or 8, maybe something like that? And a fight ensues. This guy kind of shows up. He's fighting, and there's kind of like a flash of light. Rudy like visits the god world, and then he like wakes up and he's like in the demon continent with Eris. So
and what's that character's name? Big booby animal woman. Ghislaine, yeah.
Oh,
she's so badass. Holy shit.
Jeez. Oh, what a fucking waifu, baby. Oh,
you know what?
My god.
Ghislaine, ultimate waifu. Oh damn.
She's a queen. Did you see that buttocks, baby? It was hard as rock.
Hard as steel. Steel
hard
buns.
as rock.
Oh,
I forgot about that scene. Holy shit. But
I love that scene where he's knocking on her butt, dude. Ding, ding, ding. I was like,
this show just had like a good combination of like, there's drama, there's comedy, there's action, there's like good just dialogue, just like good conversations that they're having. The characters themselves are awesome. Animation is great. Like this show kind of has everything in one, and it's all done well.
It feels like an isekai masterclass to me. Like, I just think that it's, and I get it that it established these things. Like, it's probably the first isekai to do the, the adventurer guild sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like how the back of the show, it's got to be, right? Like, but now every isekai ever does like join the adventurers guild. Like, there's always it in an isekai.
What if it was
right?
the first one with Truck Coon?
Truck Coon.
It could have been the progenitor of Truck Coon.
Is it the creator of Truck Coon? Who knows?
I don't know. Get in the comments if you know the first isekai with Truck Coon in it.
Could it have been?
Tell us.
Was Mushoku Tensei the guy who started Truck Coon?
Oh my god! I had to look up what it was, and it was what I thought.
Have you never seen? I mean,
I haven't saw that meme, but now I know.
Every isekai starts with a guy getting hit by a truck.
Truck Coon.
Yes.
Truck
and this
Coon
guy
comes out.
Our protagonist was murdered by a truck. And
Truck Coon.
Truck Coon had to come and get his ass.
Truck Coon is a multi-dimensional planar being that.
Can we talk briefly about Rudy's dad?
Paul?
Yeah,
he's badass.
Paul, guys.
He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
Paul is crazy to me. What a character, right? Like, he fucks the shit out of his wife, and they let us know that a lot. He fucks the shit out of his wife, but not just that. He fucked the shit out of his maid too.
But the maid wanted it.
And not just that, but he fucked the shit out of Ghislaine. I mean, like, this man, he fucks everyone. And
he's Paul the Chad. His name's Chad, basically.
Dude is a super Chad. He kicks ass. He's such a good sword fighter. He's like protecting the city. He's, I guess, like related to nobles. I mean, like, this dude is a mega Chad.
Ultimate Chad. Holy shit.
He's the Chad of all Chads, man.
He's also a great dad. He gave Rudy some good advice, dude. Like, he's a good dad. Even though there's a 34-year-old fucking dweeb inside of Rudy's body, like, he still gave good dad advice. And I was like, wow, Paul, you're a piece of shit, but damn, are you a likable piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I constantly was like, God, I fucking like you, but I hate you.
I want to see, like, more, like, we probably won't see this, but I want to see more flashbacks of when his parents and Ghislaine were, like, in their party and, like, were doing stuff.
That would be super cool.
That party sounded, it was, like, briefly talked about, but I just feel like it would be so cool to see, like, some of their adventures.
I love that. And I personally really like Roxy. I think she's a queen as well, dude. Roxy's great.
Roxy's the first love, man.
I'm not sure how to put it, but that little shit that she has to work for in the back half of the season, the fucking shitty prince or whatever. I hated that guy. I was like, oh my God, this makes me prefer Rudy, even though he stole her fucking underwear. I'm just like,
that's his trophy, bro. That's his. He worships the goddamn underwear.
I know, but still, it's just. So, I don't know. If you can tell from us talking about it, it was funny, but there were so many great poignant moments. Like, the entire idea and conception of the, God, what are their names? The green-haired people with the things on their head.
Demon clans? The Superds.
Superds. The whole concept of the Superd in this world, and then when we meet our main Superd in the back half of the series, I can't think of his name either.
Rugierd.
We meet Rugierd in the back half of the season, and we learn about the reality of what it's like being a Superd in this world. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all of a sudden are presented with a theming that is about race, and I didn't expect that in this story. You know what I mean? Like, in the first couple episodes, I mean, I should have expected it because it's actually touched on immediately, because Roxy is compared to like a Superd, and that little thread is laid in the beginning, and it is brought back in, which obviously, like, that's great. I love that it's layered in like that. It was not something that just was dumped on us. And for a show that has literal scenes where a fucking mage masturbates in the hallway while she listens to some kid's parents plow, that's an actual scene from this show, by the way.
You know,
that's
Mushoku Tensei, man.
To also have poignant moments where we have to discuss the impacts that racial implications have on other human beings and people. Like, what a weird contrast that for me, it fucking worked. I don't know why it works, but I love that it had like perverted sexual humor and poignant discussions about reality. And even hearing our main guy, Rudy, what's his real name? It says his real name, doesn't it? I don't remember.
No, it doesn't. It never tells us.
We never hear his real name. Okay, so he's still always Rudy. Whatever. So even like when you hear Rudy talk to the ethereal god that he talks to in his head in his other world, and some of those moments, Rudy is a weird character to me. That's the one part about Mushoku Tensei I have some qualms with. He is a 34-year-old grown-ass man in that body. Mm-hmm. And I get it that like we are watching him mature suddenly through the life of a second human being, but there's some shit that he should know. Like, he should know some shit. Like, I don't care how shut in hikikomori bullshit he is. Like, the fact that he's just now learning like racism bad, and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like stuff like that where I'm like, he needs to reconsider himself. And obviously I don't really love the scene where he attempts some sexual things with Eris. I don't know what to think of that. I mean, obviously in this fantasy world, they mentioned a lot, but like instead of 18 being like full grown adult, like 15 is like full grown adult in the fantasy world, which I think is interesting as well.
They fuck on their 15th birthday.
Right. You're right. So like that's a thing in this world. So, you know, but Eris is still 10, like in correlation to that when like one of the weirder scenes happens in the show. And he's a 34-year-old man inside of like an 8-year-old's body, but I don't know like how. Yeah, that's where the lines get a little blurry to me. I don't mind the sexual humor with the adults. Like I think it's really funny using the adults, using Ghislaine and Paul and all that. That's fucking funny to me. But when it gets a little messier,
it gets weird
when you make. Yeah, it's weird. That's all I'll say. But aside from that, I mean, it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy the show. I think
that was probably like the only questionable part of the entire show was like that whole.
Like
scene.
Rudy should be better. Like I hate to say it, but like he shouldn't be learning like he's a shonen protagonist who's only 8 years old. Like he should be better. Like that should be the trope. Like the thing here is that like he should already know some things, and that should help him get ahead. Because he's a 34-year-old man inside of an 8-year-old's body. Like, I don't know. That's just the way. I wish the author had not essentially made him out to be a complete infantile buffoon, essentially, as a child.
It's almost like he's not even that guy. He is just Rudy growing up, you know?
Yeah,
a lot of the time. And it's like, it's weird. And isekais tend to do that where it's like their new personality almost blurs into their, like, they have their memories of their old.
Goodbye, Kenny. We'll see what he has to say afterwards, but I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
Twice in one night, my boy.
I know. I'm cracked on this one, but yeah, it's like they're, just like his new. It's almost like Rudy exists as well as the other guy.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's presented too. Almost.
Yeah, and so it's like, and isekais do that a lot. Even sometimes they'll have them be two different personalities in their head. But and so I don't know, or they'll have memories. They're like, I have memories of this, but I'm not that person, but I am that person. It's weird.
I mean, Log Horizon played that for like a literal like plot element that like they're losing their memories of their real self. Remember?
Yeah.
So
like the more they die.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still, here's how I feel about the show. The beginning part. This is like my final comment on it. I love the show. I think when he transported to the demon world, I was really excited.
Yeah.
But I don't love that the show kind of turned into like an adventurer guild sort of show after that. They were like taking missions and stuff, which then I was like, oh, damn, like this is a little too tropey for me. It fell off for me a little bit, but not a lot. My enjoyment of the show was still pretty on board, only because I really like the Supered. I really like Ruijerd. I think Eris and Rudy's relationship has been really fun and really cool. I think there's still some awesome stuff to do there. Obviously, Rudy should be better. And I think after he watched those people fucking get murdered in front of him, he had like a moment. You guys remember that?
Yeah, like a wake up call.
People, like, he got like blood splashed. I was like, here we are.
Oh, this is reality, right?
He was like, oh fuck, I could die again, dude. He was like, Truck-kun.
Truck-kun, no!
No, not Truck-kun. So I'm up and down, but I think that this was really my favorite isekai I've ever watched, is the way I'll put it, which is a low bar for Jerry, but it is my favorite isekai I've ever watched for sure. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Wrap up thoughts.
I read the manga. I really enjoy it. It's one that I'm excited to see. I think it's monthly, so I'm excited to see every month. So I actually
think
just
the manga wrapping up soon, probably.
I don't think so. I don't think we're in the final arc yet. So
okay. The story's over, by the way.
Story's over. If you want to read
the light novels are done, so you can. It was written to an actual conclusion, so it wasn't canceled or anything. So if you want to read the light novels, you can. But the manga adaptation of the light novels is not done yet.
Still running.
And the anime, hopefully, will adapt. If it keeps being popular, it'll keep coming back for more seasons.
The production studio got created to make this anime, so I don't expect them not to adapt the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that over the next couple of years they just slowly take. I mean, I think we're getting part 2. I think we're getting more of this season this year.
Yeah.
Like I think that the idea is that this is like a part 1 of season 1 that just ended.
Right.
But I think we're actually getting like a part 2, sort of like ReZero did, Kenny.
Yeah.
Or
Slime's doing right now.
Oh, for real? Okay, yeah. So I think Mushoku Tensei is getting another part before the end of 2020. If I'm someone fucking correct me in the YouTube comments, but if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. But I think it's going to adapt up to the end of the like childhood arc of the novels or something.
Gotcha.
So the novels are broken into like, it's like childhood, it's like it's like late childhood, and then it's like adult or something. It's like grown ass man. I don't know. It's like split up into age components or something. So I want to say the first season should adapt all of like part 1 essentially of the novels.
Yeah, but I think the manga is getting to the end of the second sort of portion.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, pretty cool show though. Let's Oh, David, did you have some closing thoughts?
You guys all said what I was thinking. It's a good show. I'm excited to see the second part of the season 1. I might honestly just start reading the manga, just because it's like I'm feeling the same way with Jujutsu, that I just liked it so much. Like I gotta scratch the itch, and I can't wait. You know, for the
there's some good Jujutsu left to come.
I'm reading Jujutsu. I'm not waiting for another season.
I keep seeing and hearing that the next part of what I'm assuming the anime will adapt is like the best part of Jujutsu. So I'm just gonna start reading it.
Jujutsu has just been getting better, if that makes sense. Like everything has just been getting better.
And it's gonna keep. I think that's the type of show that's just gonna continue to raise the stakes. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Mushoku Tensei scores in 3, 2, 1. What do we think?
Probably 8.
8.5.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, we can do
maybe
this.
9.
I'm doing 8.
Maybe 9.
I did 8.5.
It looks great. It looks amazing.
Yep.
And I really enjoy it. And I like isekai, so.
Yes. As someone who doesn't like isekais, I also think it looked great and that it was actually very enjoyable. So, you both have isekai fan and not isekai fan saying you should watch this show. It's worth it. I think right now, while it's only a couple episodes long, you might as well watch. It's only 11 episodes, so
yeah, it's pretty short.
Catch up now and then be on board while it comes out later, because I think this one's gonna. Obviously, the novels are really held to a high regard. The manga's killing it, and I think the anime is gonna keep killing it too. So, I think that if you like it, it's gonna be coming out for a long time. So that's exciting. Yay! We did it, boys. Our winter wrap up. We went through all of our fun winter stuff. What?
Yep.
We didn't skip anything, right? Because there's a lot.
So.
I can't think of any other shows that any of us watched.
Yeah. Well, there was one that we didn't talk about. It's called X-Arm.
Fucker.
It shouldn't exist. It's blasphemous to the anime.
All right, guys. Put hashtag cancel Kenny in the. No, I'm.
Wait, Kenny, did you actually watch 2.43?
I did, but I didn't watch it to completion. It was okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
There were a couple animes that I didn't finish.
I watched like 8 episodes of Kimono Jihen, but I didn't finish either. I watched a lot of it.
I'll probably go back to.
I don't know if I'm gonna finish Kimono Jihen. It was only 12 episodes, and I got really bored around episode 8. It is. I mean, Kenny, you read the manga a little bit, right? It's like legitimately like the most standard ass shonen I've ever watched. Like,
it's fun though. I like it.
At first, I thought the concept was cool, and so I was kind of invested. And I really love like supernatural stuff. That's like a theming that I love that. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. But by about episode 8, I was just like, maybe I don't care. It's one of those shows that could go on forever if it wanted. Like they could just continue to do supernatural mysteries every week forever.
Yeah.
So if you like that sort of like episodic stuff, and there's some good show. I mean, Case Closed is kind of like that as a series, right?
Yeah.
It's legitimately just gone on forever. And Komodo Jihen has that same vibe to me, where it's like, they can always just do like a monster or like a mystery of the week and do because if you don't know the premise, the show's about essentially like a supernatural detective agency where there's like some demons that help it's like some demons that do like they search out other demons. So they call them something else. They call them kimono in the show. I was like, what am I trying to? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Kenny, you like the volleyball one? I mean, I might go back and watch that one too. It's volleyball, so.
There's a handful that I liked. I'll probably go back to, but nothing that I finished.
Winter 2020 or 2021 was a blast. This was a great season. Yeah. I was watching a shit ton of weekly stuff, and just a lot of fun stuff. Spring, how we feeling about spring?
I like what I've watched so far. I like. We'll get into it next episode. We're gonna get
more in depth next episode. But obviously, if you want to stick around for that, you got to come see us next time we post the next episode. So
we're
gonna talk all about spring and our excitement for spring.
If you made it,
if
you made it this far in the episode, as we're wrapping up, we're still giving away this pop for free. Get in the comments.
I'll say it out loud. This is a Funko Pop that is worth like $100. If you are a fan of My Hero Academia, this is a great pop to add to your collection.
We're giving away this Neji Reihado.
We're giving it away for free.
It's a secret because we had to.
At this point, if you just message us and say you want it, we'll give it to you. It's like first come, first serve.
No, you got to subscribe and like our channel.
We have now advertised it on this damn podcast 3 weeks in a row.
We're giving it away. I'm telling you.
You want to know how many people have messaged us for it? No one. Not a single one.
Zero. That's the whole point. Okay. This has been the true fans of the podcast who make it to the end of the episode.
and that's because we're not advertising it in the description. We're not advertising it on our Instagram.
Yep.
It just sits behind Kenny every episode.
Yep.
Looking you right in the eyes.
And then we talk about it at the end of the episode.
All you have to do is literally message us and show that you like, comment, and subscribe on this episode here or any of our previous episodes where we've advertised it.
Yep.
And literally message us and say, you can just say whatever. You don't have to say anything specific. Just message us on Instagram and say, hey, I'm interested in entering the Nedre giveaway. We'll check to make sure that you're subscribed, you liked, and you commented. And bada bing, bada boom. It's yours, I guess, because no one's entered yet.
We're giving it.
So pretty sweet. And maybe we'll hit 100 subscribers before we give it away. Honestly, we're moving up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
If that happens, then we'll probably start advertising it. Our 100 subscriber giveaway.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it was great fun doing our winter wrap up. We haven't done any of Kenny's Shonen Unraveled in a while, so I think next week not next week, but maybe 2 weeks from now, we might actually do another one of those.
Yeah.
Like Kenny unravel some shonen for
maybe
us.
Attack on Titan, bro.
Oh, maybe it's
that'd be a good
Unravel
one.
Titan. Honestly, dude, that might be the move. But okay. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for coming back for another episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our winter wrap up. We're gonna be doing our spring 2020 rundown. You know what we do every season? We watch 13 brand new anime series. So we don't do stuff. Let's get in the second season. We're not gonna do anything that's in Netflix jail. We're going to do 13 brand new anime series. David, do you want to quickly read off to our listeners what the 13 shows are that we will be watching?
Yeah,
so
just give me one
very
second.
briefly, we'll post this list on our Instagram as well, so you can actually watch the shows beforehand, or if you just want to come back after you have watched all 13, check out our episode on what our first opinions are. And yes, we get it. Obviously, you can't just develop like a perfect opinion from one episode. That's the fun. It's our anime first impressions. It's like 13 brand new anime first impressions. It's not, obviously, it's hard to decide if you really want to be in a show with just one episode. Sometimes you need 2 or 3. So, David, what are our 13 shows for spring?
All right, our 13 shows, because we love the number 13. We are going to be talking about To Your Eternity, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Tokyo Revengers, Hige Hero, The World Ends With You, Super Cub, Vivi Fluoride Eyes Song, 8686, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Let's make a mug too. Odd Taxi, Dragon Goes House Hunting, and Combatants Will Be Dispatched.
Perfect. So these are 13 brand new shows. Some are adapted from light novels, some are adapted from manga, some are adapted from video games, some are original anime productions, but this is their first time ever appearing in anime form, so that means they're totally entry friendly, right? So like all these shows that we're going to give our impressions are, this could be your first time ever watching an anime, or it could be just a new show you want to pick up. We're not going to worry about season 2s. There's a couple obviously season 5 of My Hero is happening during the spring, so we're not going to talk about My Hero. We're also not going to talk about, unfortunately, 2 shows that are in Netflix jail, which is Shaman King and Eden Zero. Netflix jail is a term that we use. It just pretty much means that you can't access the show through legal means right now, right? So the 13 shows we've selected, there's a legal outlet for you to watch it simulcast every week. So either Crunchyroll or Funimation, I think, is going to have all 13 of those shows. So if you're subscribed to either of their services, you should be able to jump on and go watch those shows. And we only advertise on this podcast stuff that is legally available. We try not to... if you consume your anime through means that are not, through subscription services or whatever, that's fine. I won't judge you. You do you. But we always try to make sure that everything we cover and review on here is something that you could go and subscribe to an official service or purchase the series outright. So please understand that. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that. We're just trying to share our love for anime with you guys. So, we love talking and getting on this podcast. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this, getting involved, getting engaged with us. Kenny, David, you guys have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Sweet. Leave us that 5-star review. Smash that follow button on Spotify. Do all that good stuff. You guys
get in the comments.
Get in the comments. Correct all of my inaccuracies that I stated tonight, because you guys know you love to do that. I love to be corrected. And I will totally accept the criticism. If I said some shit that was wrong or was off kilter, I will fight you if you disagree with my opinion. That's fine. But if I missed something, like I actually said something factually incorrect, or David did, or Kenny did, feel free to correct us in the comments down below. We'll pin your comment for G's sakes. I don't know. No, for real. But for real, love talking to you guys. Love being here. And hopefully you guys join us next week for another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast saying... peace.